Self-control and respect during today's contest. Tonight's contest pits the Tupper Lake Lumberjacks against the Northeastern Clinton Cougars. Playing for Tupper Lake.
Hello, this is Mike Fay with Calvin Castine, and we're at Seton Catholic Central Field in Plattsburgh, New York for the Section 7 Class C finals between the Tupper Lake Lumberjacks and the Northeastern Clinton Cougars. Introducing the teams, number 14, Carolyn Larkin. In goal, Laurie Svoboda. Number 24, Carolyn Labarge. Number 17, Audrey Svoboda.
Number 18,
Valerie Pickering. I didn't catch that last number, but we'll.
Number 5, Kate Martin.
Number 5, Kate Martin. Number 8, Michelle Poirier. Number 15, Jamie Martin.
Number 23, Michelle.
23, Michelle Hunsinger.
Number 13, Sarah Crary.
13, Sarah Crary.
Number 16, Kara Chartier.
Number 16, Kara Chartier.
Number 10, Allison Buckley.
Number 10, Allison Buckley.
Starting for the Tupper Lake Lumberjacks, we have number 25, Heather LaValle.
And Heather LaValle, one of the starters for
number 19,
the Lumberjacks.
Amanda Bachant.
19, Amanda Bachant.
Number 11, Faith Bedore.
11, Faith Bedore.
Number 20, Lindsay Button.
20, Lindsay Button.
Number 4, Nicole Churko.
Number 4, Nicole Churko.
Number 3, Nicole Fletcher.
Nicole Fletcher, number 3.
Number 7, Stephanie Kachowski.
Number 7, Stephanie Kachowski.
Number 9, Andrea Mercurio.
Number 9, Andrea Mercurio.
Number 2, Janelle Sabin.
Number 2, Janelle Sabin.
Number 12, Noelle Short.
Number 12, Noelle Short.
And in goal, Laura LaVenture.
And Laura LaVenture is in goal for the Lumberjacks. Missing, I think I missed 22, Jessica Salome, and 21, Megan Maryhew, who is out with a torn ligament. Coaches for the Lumberjacks, Fred Short, Dave Cook, Ted Maryhew, and Glenn Poirier.
Playing for the Northeastern Clinton Cougars.
And for the Cougars,
number 25, Anna Boardman.
25, Anna Boardman.
Number 22, Gianna Brassard.
22, Gina Brassard.
Number 21, Rachel Doodle.
21, Rachel Dutil.
Number 18, Jess Poyer.
18, Jess Poyer.
Number 13, Brandy
13, Brandy Bowman.
Number 12, Christy Favreau.
Number 12, Christy Favreau.
Number 11, Tisha Supernaw.
Number 11, Tish Supernaw.
Number 10, Margie Fay.
Number 10, Margie Fay.
Number 7, Brenda Bailey.
Number 7, Brenda Bailey.
Starting for the Cougars.
And the starters for Northeastern.
Number 1, Megan Casey.
Number 1, Megan Casey.
Number 2, Trisha Gooley.
Number 2, Trish Gooley.
Number 3, Elise LaFountain.
Number 3, Elise LaFountain.
Number 4, Ashley Walter.
Number 4, Ashley Walter.
Number 5, Ashley Burks.
Ashley Burks, number 5.
Number 6, Lauren Kavanaugh.
Lauren Kavanaugh, number 6.
Number 8,
Number 8,
Haley Desereau.
Haley Desereau.
Number 14,
14, Brandy Sample.
Number 23,
23, Debbie Trombley.
Number 24,
24, Amanda Clark.
And in goal
for the Lady Cougars, Chantel Pardin. Cougars are coached by Josie Gilroy, assisted by Rob Francis.
Josie Gilroy, assistants Rob Francis and Sarah Dupy.
And the referees for tonight's contest,
Jamie Labarge and Todd Lambert.
Jamie Labarge and Todd Lambert are the officials. As I said, this is the Section 7 Class C Finals. No surprises in the sectional playoffs. And if you're going to have a championship game, this is the way to do it. The champions from Division II, the Tupper Lake Lumberjacks, versus the champions from Division I, Northeastern Clinton. Northeastern Clinton, number 1 seed, as I said, in Division I, with an 18-1 overall record. And the Lumberjacks, number 1 seed in Division II, with a 15-4-1 record. And here comes Walter, unable to get a hold of the ball before Laura LaVenture. Her name is not Laura, that was my tongue. On the far side, handball called, direct kick for Northeastern.
Come on, Cougars, let's go!
Players to watch if you're not used to watching CVAC sports here on Hometown Cable. Northeastern's defense, of course, always a standout this year with 14 shutouts. But for offensive production, Ashley Walter, number 4 for Lady Cougars. As Casey gets the ball, it's deflected back out to Bador, who clears to midfield. It's Ashley Walter with 17 goals and 7 assists on the year. And Brandy Sample, number 14 for Northeastern, 9 goals and 8 assists. And for the Lumberjacks, number 12, Noelle Short. And it's in the net. I think Trish Gooley. I'll wait for the official. I guess that's the way it always happens. I'm looking at the book and it's in the net.
By Trisha Gooley, assisted Brandy Sample.
Northeastern draws first blood at 1:27 early in this contest. Gooley from Sample, and it's 1-0 Northeastern. And to finish my other thought, Noelle Short, number 12 for the Lumberjacks, with 29 goals and 9 assists, and Faith Bador, who is number 11 with 13 goals and 12 assists. So 2 teams with a lot of offensive punch. I think the change or the difference will be in this game whether Northeastern's defense can maintain what they've done all year and shut down the opposition. It'll be a Northeastern throw-in. The last time these teams faced was September 21st. It was a 2-0 victory for Northeastern. That was up at NCCS, and the 2 goals were scored by Ashley Walter. Now, Calvin just reminded me that during the semifinals, as LaFountain chests down and controls, clears out to the far side, when Tupper Lake played Seton to get here to the finals, Seton scored in the first minutes of the game, and then the Lumberjacks came back with 3 unanswered goals to win a 3-1 victory over the Knights, Lady Knights. So Tupper Lake certainly knows what it feels like to be behind, so I wouldn't rest too early if you're a Northeastern fan. It looks like Bador on the far side, defended by Burtz, out of bounds, and the Jacks will throw in. Heather LaValle throws in. Burtz with a fine defensive play gets it to Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh clears up on the far side, off deflection to Walter. Walter, controlling on the far side, tries to cross over for Sample, but it's out of bounds. And it should be a throw-in for Northeastern.
Get to the ball, Cougars!
Walter's throwing goes right to Button, and Button tries to clear, but it deflects. Finally out to Walter on the far side. Ashley Walter with a nice move to control and clears into the center. Casey is there with the shot, and it's saved by LaVenture. I don't know if that shot had some of the steam taken off it, deflecting off a defenseman or not, but LaVenture, it looked as though it was going to go higher, but LaVenture was able to make the stop. Now Gooley crosses, and it deflects deeper into the box, out of bounds. It should be a corner kick for Northeastern. Amanda Clark sets up for the corner. And it's a nice kick, and LaVenture with the stop right on the line. Had good distance. Maybe she wanted it a little bit closer to the 6-yard line to give one of her players an opportunity to get to it, but LaVenture, steady on the line, made the stop. Call goes against the Lady Cougars, and it'll be a direct kick for the Lumberjacks. Up for Cherko. Cherko inside the 18. And it's cleared up on the far side to Burtz. Burtz up for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh keeps it alive. And then up the wing for Walter. Walter keeps it going. It deflects off a Lumberjack defender and out of bounds, Northeastern ball. That was a play there. It appeared the Northeastern defense lost a little bit of communication. I thought that Tremblay may have believed that Carnett was going to come out and control the ball, but she didn't. And at the last second, Tremblay cleared to the far side for Burtz. Burtz making a fine effort to get the ball up the wing. Dumped in by Cherko, stopped by Burtz. Up to LaFountain. LaFountain gets it by. Burtz keeps running, and it's cleared. I'll pick up these numbers for the Lumberjacks as we go on. Desero with a fine ball down the wing, inside the box, and LaValle makes the stop. LaVenture, rather, makes the stop. Gooley with some room to maneuver for Sample. Sample can't draw the ball past the defender, and it's finally cleared out where it's picked up by Short. Clark defending Short. Up for Gooley. Gooley pushes a ball down for Casey. Casey trying to get around the defender, but it's pulled to the near side. Casey wins that contest against Bechant, but it's finally cleared out off a deflection into the center of LaFountain. Broken up to Short. LaFountain won't give way, and Short takes an errant pass and dumps into Northeastern zone. Up in the middle, off Cherko. Cherko. Clark, a little out of position right there. She made a good defensive play to step in front of Short. But if Northeastern was not able to control the ball after Clark did control it, or after she blocked the pass, and here comes Sample just outside the 18. She wants to try and turn it. Can't. It's dumped back, and LaFountain can't get the shot off before Cherko. And from outside the 18, Sample the fine effort that's stopped by LaVenture. As I was saying, Clark ran to get onto the offensive thrust, and if Northeastern wasn't able to control the ball, Short was left wide open in the center of the field. That's one thing that confidence will do for you as far as the Cougar defense. Northeastern fullbacks have all the confidence in the world in their teammates, and they can take a little bit of a step up to try and switch from defense to offense quickly, and that has resulted in some Northeastern goals. So confidence in your teammates, confidence in your defense, really a big part of this game. Short to the outside, intended for Bador. Too far out of bounds, and it'll be a Northeastern throw-in. Northeastern substitutions: Brandy Bowman, Gina Brassard, and Margie Fay into the game for the Lady Cougars. Clark on the far side. Bador tries to control, but it's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Cougars. Walter. And the Lumberjacks dump it right back in for Bador. Burtz trying to control. Off a deflection to Tremblay. Missed kicks out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lumberjacks. And number 8, Michelle Poyer, into the game for Tupper Lake. Out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for Tupper Lake. 30-31 remaining in the first. 1-0 Northeastern on an early Trish Gooley goal.
First to the ball.
Cherko can't control it. Comes to the 18. Off a deflection. It's cleared out and finally dumped right back in again by Mercurio. This should go out of bounds, does, and it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern.
All right, keep it in there now. Let's go. Mark up.
Tremblay, Short, picked up by Cherko. Now LaFountain up through the center. Stopped by Saban, who dumps right back in again. Northeastern will have the call go against them, and it'll be a direct kick for Tupper Lake. Trombley directing her defense, pulling them out outside the 18, trying to force, or actually forcing the Lumberjacks deeper. That could have been a handball, not called, but Northeastern able to control the Fountain. Up for Desereau. Desereau back to LaFountain. LaFountain missed kicks, but Bowman gets there, but Mercurio able to take the ball from Bowman. Now Bador switches fields to the far side, stopped by Fay, and Mercurio, or rather Churko, off the side of Fay's head to Walter, who goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Tupper Lake. Down the wing over the head of Northeastern defense. Fay can't get there before Fletcher does. Fletcher dumps into the center. It's cleared out by Desereau. Now Larkin goes inside the 18. Clark gets there. Won't let Short touch the ball and clears up for Fay. Fay traps. And the Jacks right back in again. Off Clark. Clark up for Walter. Walter takes it to the outside and tries a pass up for Sample. Intercepted and cleared right back again. Fletcher dumps long and out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Trombley miskicked on the outside. Walter trying to control. Pushes a pass up for Sample. Sample. Nice heel back for Sample. She'll get across from there. Crosses over in the center. LaFountain can't get the shot off. It deflects. LaVenture dives, but her defense clears it out before she can get a hold of it. Now Clark right back in again. Nobody there except Lumberjacks, and it's cleared to the near side out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Northeastern.
One Cougar!
Burtz with a long throw in inside the box. Sample trying to turn it. Jacks control and clear up for Bador.
That's where to take the ball.
Off of deflection, it goes to LaFountain. LaFountain with a low shot that should go out of bounds. It does. It'll be a goal kick for the Lumberjacks. 26:53 remaining in this first half. 1-0 Northeastern.
Take it right back here.
Go Jacks fell out.
Quick, Cougar.
Headed right back in by Walter to Sample. Sample trying to control. Fay with a long shot. It'll go wide, and it'll be another goal kick for the Jacks.
Oh my God.
Miskicked, picked up by Sample. Now LaFountain. LaFountain trying to turn it. Does. Over for Sample. Sample right back to LaFountain. LaFountain gets by one. And I think that's Walter from LaFountain, but we'll wait for the official. And Northeastern Clinton, their second goal. Ashley Walter from Elise LaFountain at 14-11. And they continue to put on the pressure. Now the Lumberjacks are in a spot. When they were one goal down, they didn't have to worry because they knew that anything can happen and they can get one goal in. But now that they're down two, they understand they have to score 2 goals, at least 2 goals to tie and 3 goals to win against a defense that has not given up more than 1 goal in any game and has 14 shutouts on the year. Not an easy task for the Lumberjacks. And here comes Northeastern again, broken up by Bachant. Bachant goes down. It'll be a direct kick for the Lumberjacks. So the Lumberjacks have their work cut out for them. They need to get one, and they'd like to get it quickly to try and take that pressure off, that feeling that you cannot score against this Northeastern defense. If they can get one in pretty quickly, I'd say they have a good opportunity. Short can't control. Should be a handball, and it'll be a direct kick for Northeastern. If they can get that 1 goal quickly, then this game will not get out of hand. But if Northeastern continues to dominate and get the better shots on net, and this is going to be a long night for the Jacks and a long trip back to Tupper Lake. I didn't pick up Northeastern substitutions. I'll do so now. Brenda Bailey, Megan Casey, Anna Boardman, and Jess Poyer into the game for Northeastern. Bailey missed kicks, but is able to strike it with a right foot. Chested down by Fletcher, and Casey takes it, puts it far side for Walter. Walter able to keep it in bounds. Walter up for Sample. Sample just deflects it right back to Walter, but a nice defensive play by Button to control and go up the wing for Tupper Lake. Out of bounds off Desero. It should be a throw-in for the Jacks. 23-46 remaining in the first. 2-0 Northeastern. And a long ball up for Walter. Walter has some time, takes the long shot, it's off the post, stays in bounds, and Walter recovers, can't control, but it goes out of bounds off Andrea Mercurio, and it'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. So the Cougars, even after their second goal, still dominating.
Push down, you guys!
Lumberjack football team, move down. Let's get to it, Cougars!
Bailey can't get the shot off. A diving attempt by Walter, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a goal, another corner kick for Northeastern.
Stop socializing and move!
Camera boy, move!
LaVenture can't make the stop. It's off her foot, and they're going to call it a goal kick. I guess it deflected up off Walter before it went out of bounds. Boardman can't keep it in. It's out of bounds. It'll be a Lumberjack throw-in. Walter into the center. Poyer should get there first. Does. Pass over for Sample just behind her. She goes back to Poyer. Off a deflection to the 18 and finally cleared out by Bashant.
Be tough, Cougars!
Cleared the midfield. Short is there. Short tries to get a pass off for Bedore, but it's deflected by Burtz and cleared by Clark up onto the far side. Walter for Boardman. Boardman into the center for Casey, broken up and dumped to midfield. Clark off a deflection, gets it back into the center, but it's dumped in by Fletcher. Fletcher gets it to Bedore, but Burtz is there. A nice play. Ashley Burtz up for just Poyer. Poyer gets by one defender. And a pass into the center. If Walter can get there first, she does, but she can't get there with any kind of control, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Tupper Lake. 21. That should be a Northeastern throw-in. Must have been screened and didn't see the last Lumberjack to touch the ball. Burtz clears up, but it's intercepted by Grahowski. Now Bailey out of bounds. A throw-in for Tupper Lake. Down the wing, stopped by Burtz. She can't control, and it'll be another throw-in for the Lumberjacks. Tupper Lake working their way downfield on throw-ins. Burtz with a nice defensive play gets it to Bailey. Bailey back to Burtz. And Burtz up into the center to Sample. Sample just deflects to the near side for Poyer. Poyer should have continued down the wing, but she decided to go into the center. Walter can't control. Now off a deflection, it goes to Clark. Clark over for Walter. Walter right back to Clark again. But Bashan is there to clear out. Now Trombley right back in far side. Chipped high. And LaVenture comes out and makes the stop.
Fortunate girls when you get out there.
Desero steps up, but the Lumberjacks able to control on the far side. It looks like Curio into the box. Cardan comes out to make the stop. Not a good kick, but it's effective. All the way to midfield before Poirier takes control. She goes far side for Walter. Dumped in by Boardman. Walter, if she can control, will get a cross off. She goes back to Boardman. Boardman tries to go back to Walter, but it's behind her, and it puts two people offsides, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lumberjacks.
Offsides?
No, that's right. It's a direct kick. Sorry about that.
Keep pushing, Cougars!
Jacks into the center. Bailey gets there first. Pass up for Sample. Cleared by Bachant. Missed kick to the near side.
The corner!
Poirier right down the line. Keeps it in and gets the cross off, but it's out of bounds. And it'll be a goal kick for the Jacks. Northeastern substitutions: Trish Gooley, Elise LaFountain, Lauren Kavanaugh, and Brandy Bowman. And Burtz dumps right back into the 18. Walter can't get there before it's cleared by Bachant. Kavanaugh on the far side, beaten to the ball by LaValle, and LaValle goes down in through the center for short. Trombley is there to clear up. Fletcher deflects to the far side, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Now Walter. Off a deflection, it goes to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh chips wide, and it'll be a goal kick for the Lumberjacks. Down to 17-15 remaining in the first. And it's still 2-0 Northeastern. Desero steps up into the center. And there's the button. Button for the Lumberjacks. Goes far side. Churko dumps in, and Carden should call off her defense and does. Carden punts out. Headed right back in by Button. Bowman comes near side for Gooley, but it's off Gooley, out of bounds, and it'll be a Lumberjack throw-in. Martin, Jamie Martin, throws in. Miskicked by Clark, but Trombley is there. Trombley deflects it off short, out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Trombley up for LaFountain. LaFountain comes near side and passes up for Gooley. Gooley cuts it back into the center for Poirier. Walter, looking for the pass, gave way for Mercurio, who's able to clear out for the Lumberjacks. On the far side, LaValle and Clark go against each other. Clark, the last one to touch it before it goes out of bounds, and a Lumberjack throw-in. Desero clears up the midfield for Walter. Ashley Walter up for Jess Poirier. Deflected, out of bounds, and it'll be a Lumberjack throw-in. Down to 15-11 remaining in the first. 2-0 Northeastern. Bowman gets there at the same time that Jamie Martin does, and Martin clears it out of bounds on the far side. And Northeastern will throw it in again.
Keep pushing, Cougars!
Now Burtz wants to turn it to the near side, does, but Bador is there. Burtz able to control, goes up the wing, and Martin dumps in. Bador for Short. Short controls and then tries to turn it back for Bador. But as you can see, the Lumberjacks so worried about defense, they've only got 2 offensive players forward as it's shot in on Cardan. She makes the stop with Churko standing there. But it's hard to generate any offense when you don't have the halfbacks that work up with the forwards. It ends up 4-on-3 at all times because Northeastern has 4 defenders back and the Lumberjacks with only 3 forwards. Headed to the outside by Clark, cleared up by Desereau. Kavanaugh. Finally, Desereau puts it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Tupper Lake. Long shot by Fletcher, chested down by Trombley. Trombley will not allow Short to make the turn, and it goes out of bounds off Trombley, and it'll be a corner kick for the Lumberjacks. Bedore will take the corner.
Gotta get to the ball, Cougar!
Bedore with a short corner that's stopped by Kavanaugh, and then Burtz tries to clear up. Lumberjacks getting stubborn down by the 18. Finally, it's up for Walter. Walter with some running room on the far side. Walter still controlling, tries to go into the center, but Button is there to deflect out of bounds. Northeastern substitutions, Christy Favreau and Brandy Sample will in it.
Go, Ag, way to push it!
Headed out, and Desereau puts it right back in again. Stopped by Martin. Desereau, or rather Kavanaugh, is there. Can't get the ball past Bachant. And they try it again. Finally deflects to LaValle, who goes far side out of bounds, and it'll be a Northeastern throw-in. Kavanaugh tries to get it to Favreau, but a nice step up by the Lumberjack defense. Into the center, Gooley is there, but can't control. Saban goes far side. Favreau can't control, and it's cleared out. Clark, I believe, is going to be called for obstruction. Wouldn't let Short get to the ball. And as she kicks it, she slips, so not a good kick for the Jacks. And Burtz is there. Burtz, a long pass up for Gooley. The pass did exactly what they wanted it to do. It took the defender off Sample. She had to commit over for Gooley, but Gooley couldn't catch up to it to just nudge it back into the center for Sample. Out of bounds, it'll be a goal kick for the Jacks. Nope.
Quick, Cougar! There you go! That's the way to
Burtz.
deny her birthday!
Off a deflection, it'll roll to the 18 where it's taken up by Bachant. Bachant clears off Bowman out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Tupper Lake. Down to 10:20 remaining in the first. Bedore gets by Burtz. LaFountain coming back to help out on defense, makes a nice play, but followed up by Martin, and Martin into the center. Now Clark, a long pass up for Gooley, but too close to the inside, and Bachant, no problem to intercept. Out of bounds off her, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Cougar substitutions, Fay and Bailey. Bailey to Sample. Sample heads it up straight up in the air. Bailey able to control, but can't. Loses it, rather, to off of deflection. Now LaFountain deeper into Tupper Lake territory, but out of bounds off Saban. Sample trying to turn it, cleared to the center. Favreau can't get the shot off before it's cleared out, and then that should be a push from behind, and it'll be a direct kick for Tupper Lake. That could have been a handball, not called. Into the center for Short. Clark is there. Short goes far side, but nobody to receive the pass except Desero, who goes up for Fay. Fay takes it into the center and then goes up a long pass up for Favreau. Bachant racing over, clears back along the wing. Now LaFountain. Bachant gets there again and is able to clear up. Fay can't control, and Fletcher goes down the wing for Tupper Lake. A long pass, but too far for Churko, and it's out of bounds. Favreau trying to control, keep it in bounds, but can't, and it'll be a throw-in for Tupper Lake.
They can go down towards the end line down the other side of the gate, but they can't all stand right there. They can't.
Into the center, stopped by Bailey. Now off a deflection, LaFountain just outside the 18, gets the shot off, and it's wide. It'll be a goal kick for Tupper Lake.
So I think
Want me to go through?
Gary, go tell him that boss lady up
Say the
here,
committee.
reach in the top.
The committee says heavy down.
Why not say
Lumberjacks out for Martin. Martin into the center for Fletcher. Fletcher tries to get a lead pass for Bedore, but it's headed by Burtz. Now LaFountain. LaFountain has her pass attempt deflected by Button. Now Clark to the near side for Bailey. Too far out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Tupper Lake. Down to 6:44 remaining. Now a long ball for Bedore, but Trombley is there first and clears up the midfield. Gooley deflects into the center, and Button is there to dump right back in for Tupper Lake. Short and Desero going at it, and Desero called for the push. That was a play that appeared it could have gone either way. And a long ball to the 18, stopped, chested down by Trombley, and she goes right up for Sample. Sample has Gooley streaking on the near side, gets the ball to her. If Gooley can push it back, she has Sample all alone in the center. Gooley gets the cross off, but it's a weak one, and it's stopped by Bachant and cleared up on the near side for Martin. Martin up for Bedore. Bedore tries to turn it into the center, deflects off Burtz, and Clark is there to head down for control and dump right back in for Northeastern. It seems to be the way the game's going when the Cougars have an offensive thrust. The Lumberjacks break it up, they go up the midfield, and it looks as though they're going to have some sort of an opportunity, and a shot by Clark that goes wide. They look like they're going to have some sort of an opportunity to control, and there's the steady Northeastern defense to just intercept and clear and calmly clear it right back in to the Tupper Lake zone. So far for Northeastern, things going the way they want to. Their defense controlling much of the game, and therefore they're controlling the field position. And that, of course, shows in the score, 2-0 Northeastern. They able to intercept but can't control, and it's back over to the Northeastern side of midfield. Desero gets there, and it's dumped down the wing. Nobody there except Trombley, who should be able to clear up and does to the far side. Favreau can't keep it in bounds, and it'll be a throw in for Tupper Lake. Lumberjack substitution, number 16, Cara, either Chartier or Cartier, however you wish to pronounce it. She's into the game for the Lady Cougars as Desero heads to the center for LaFountain. LaFountain keeps it going up for Sample. Sample covered like a blanket by Churko, but she's able to dump it further up the field, and Button missed kicks. LaFountain keeps it going, but Button there again to clear up, and Clark still trying to control and does, but deflects off Martin to the far side, and it's picked up by Cartier, who tries to go back into the center. Martin dumps far side, Short racing for it, but Clark will get there first.
But he didn't have anyone pushing.
Well, Short still trying to control, can't, and it should be,
Somebody was right there.
they're going to call it a goal kick. Northeastern, a bunch of substitutions. That's Gina Brassard, Anna Boardman, Brandy Bowman, and I guess Ashley Walter back in for Northeastern. Also Megan Casey. Out of bounds, Northeastern throwing. Into the center. Boardman gets there, miss kicks, and it's cleared. Up into the center, Short is there, and she punches a high one near side for Bador. Bador takes an inside step, but Burtz is there, able to deflect it out. Brassard off a deflection to Casey, and Casey right back to the wing. Intercepted by Button, who goes into the center for Cherko. Bador looking for some room to maneuver, turns it, tries to switch fields, but Desereau is there to step up and clear up for Sample. Sample deflects far side for Walter. Walter has some room, takes it deeper. She'll get a left-footed shot off, does, and LaVenture is there and makes two stops. LaVenture with a nice diving stop to her right. Lost control of the rebound, and somebody else, I'm going to say Sample, but I'm not really sure. A lot of people in front of the goal took another shot. It was a weak one, and LaVenture able to dive back to her left to make two good saves for Tupper Lake. 1:22 remaining in the first, and LaVenture keeps it 2-0 Northeastern. Cougars that close to going ahead by 3. LaVenture makes no mistake about this rebound. And clears out. Clark up for Casey, but too far behind her. But it rolls inside the box where it's picked up by Bachant. A nice play by Brassard. She was able to catch up to Bachant and cross it, forcing the Lumberjacks to put it out of bounds, giving Northeastern a corner kick with 40 seconds remaining. A big moment in this game. If Northeastern can put that third goal in, they've almost sealed this game. The Jacks know that being down by 1, it was tough. Being down by 2, it's going to be very hard to come back against Northeastern, but being down by 3, darn near impossible. With 14 seconds, I think that's what the first half is going to come to an end now. 8 seconds left. It'll be 2-0 Northeastern. Headed to the near side out of bounds. 3-2-1. The buzzer sounds. First half is over, and it's 2-0 Northeastern. We'll be back for the start of the second half. Second half underway. The winner of this contest will play Tuesday, November 9th in Potsdam against Potsdam High School. And it's out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Tupper. Bador deflects off Burtz out of bounds, and it'll be another throw-in for the Lumberjacks. Down the wing, a good ball for Bador. Burtz, however, catches up to Bador. Bador gets it right back again. She'll get a cross-off. Just inside the 18, Short is there. Now Cherko tries to get the shot off, but Tremblay is able to clear. That's the closest the Lumberjacks have come to getting an outstanding opportunity, and here comes Northeastern right back again. Walter gets by LaVenture and puts it in the net, and the counterattack again goes Northeastern's way, and the Cougars are up 3-0.
At least 1 foul.
102, right?
Yeah, 102.
Another repeat of the way this game has been going. The Lumberjacks controlling well on the near side with a good cross into the center. A good opportunity just to step away from getting a shot on the Northeastern goal, and Trombley is there at the last second to clear up. And on the counterattack, Northeastern scores their third goal. Walter from the fountain at the 102 mark, and it's 3-0 Northeastern. Walter controlling inside the 18. LaVenture aggressive, trying to come out to stop the shot, and Walter just moved around her to her right and put it into the empty net for the 3-0 Northeastern lead.
Kind of warm tonight, isn't it?
Yes. And as I said, I'm impressed.
I think it's warmer on that side than usually.
Sabin tries to dump in. Now short, finally. Controls on the near side. Kavanaugh will not allow her to cross it. It's out of bounds, and it should be a Northeastern throw-in. Headed by Walter into the center. Sample is there if she can get by Bachant, and she cannot. Amanda Bachant will have nothing of it and puts the ball out of bounds.
For the day? I thought you paid me for the day. First time.
Kavanaugh into the center. I'd rather see a throw-in like that go down the wing. It's very dangerous to go into the center. If you don't control the ball cleanly on a throw like that, the other team has a little bit of an advantage because their momentum can take them straight down the field because you're on offense and your team is moving in the other direction. So a throw-in down the wing seems to always be the safest. Into the center for Bedore. It goes out of bounds off Burt's, and it'll be a corner kick for Lady Jacks.
Clear that, Cougar!
So I guess now that I took pay, I'm not an amateur anymore, I'm a professional. But now that I pay, I'm now a professional, not an
Bedore
amateur.
crosses. Burt's is there to stop and clear. Out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Jacks. LaValle down the wing, out of bounds. She'll do it again.
Clear that, Cougar!
Bedore gets there, tries to turn it, but it goes behind the net for a Northeastern goal kick. 36-13 remaining in the second. It's 3-0 Northeastern.
Keep pushing it out!
Clearing it. Button puts it back in, but taken by Casey. Casey can't control. Deflected off LaFountain to Short. Short right back into the center for Bedore, but Burt's is there to clear far side. Out of bounds, and it should be a throw-in for Tupper Lake. Trombley, line drive to the outside. Casey stops it before it goes out of bounds and comes back into the center for LaFountain. LaFountain up into the center off the back of Sample, and it's cleared by Cherko. Now picked up by Fletcher. Fletcher to the far side for Martin. Martin can't control. It's out of bounds. It should be a Northeastern throw-in. As I said, it's a Tupper Lake throw-in. 34-44 remaining in the second. Desero. Pass intended for Short. Clark is there and clears far side out of bounds. Now Gooley. And the Lady Jacks will throw it in again. Teams trading throw-ins. Nobody able to generate any kind of control the last few minutes here. Now Desero. North. Sample trying to break through. And Cherko takes it to the far side, stays in bounds. Now it's out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Northeastern. Gina Brassard into the game for Northeastern. And LaFountain will throw in again for the Lady Cougars. Headed out by Cherko. Burtz is there. Puts it right back in. LaFountain off a deflection. Can't control, and Cherko clears up to midfield. Tremblay right back in again. LaFountain and Cherko go to it. Cherko wins that one. Now Burtz for Clark. Clark, left foot near side. Off Walter and then Button, and finally cleared deep in the Northeastern zone. Tremblay gets there, comes right back out to the center. LaFountain goes near side, has Walter down the wing. Good pass for Walter. Walter has some options to take a shot or the pass. She tried to pass over for Brassard coming in on the far side, but it was intercepted. Now Fay comes near side for Walter. Walter gets around a defender, tries to get the cross off. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Tupper Lake. Bachant will take this goal kick for Tupper. That could have been a handball, not called. It deflects into the center and miskicked by Desro to the far side. Bedore is there. This could be an opportunity for Tupper Lake, but Burtz is there to stop it. And Fletcher intercepts and goes far side again for Bedore. Out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for Tupper Lake. Down to 31-21 remaining in the second. It's 3-0 Northeastern. Tremblay out in the center off LaFountain, and now Sample up for Walter. Walter gets by one, but she's not going to get by Bachant, who takes it near side. Walter and Bachant go at it. Walter the last one to touch it. Bachant should let it roll. She does. And it should be, they're going to give it to Northeastern. That was Tupper Lake's ball for sure. Fay with the throw-in. Deflects into the center. Bowman can't get the shot off, and short clears. Now Burtz and Bedore going at it. Bedore wins that one, goes midfield, and Tremblay dumps right back in again. This time short goes far side. Bedore's got 100 miles to run before it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. 30 minutes remaining in this second half. 3-0 Northeastern. Bowman with a nice play to try and get it to Brassard, but off a deflection it goes to LaFountain. Brassard far side, beaten by Bachant, and Bachant clears up into the center for Short. Short trying to get by Clark. She makes two moves, finally gets by a pass for Bedore, but Tremblay is there and clears up. But right to Short just outside the 18. Short with a nice move. Gets the shot off, but Tremblay is there to stop it and clear far side. And there was a great example of the Northeastern defense teaming up to not allow Short, who did everything she could to get that shot off, made 3 or 4 nice moves, and just still could not get the shot off past the Northeastern defense. Now Sample off a deflection. Has Brassard far side, tries to come back into the center for Walter. That should be a handball, and it'll be a direct kick for the Lumberjacks.
Right back, Cougar! Good run! He's kind of dead in the water.
LaFountain gets by Fletcher. Gets a return pass from Sample, shoots high, and LaVenture is there to make the stop. Desiro Now Fay able to control, chips for Walter, but it's broken up, and now Clark right back in again. Off of deflection, it goes to Sample. Sample. And cleared out by LaValle and dumped right back in by Desereau. Bowman pushes for Clark. Clark can't control and dumped right out by the Jacks. Short miss kicks, it comes near side, and LaValle is there to keep it going for Tupper Lake. Down the wing, intended for Chartier. She goes into the center, but Tremblay miss kicks out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Tupper. Tremblay very close to the front of her goal mouth, didn't want to take any chances, but she did have time to settle. Fay up for Walter. Off of deflection to Sample. Sample has Walter, but a nice play by Cherko to stop Sample's pass. Now short in the center. Clark wins that one, and off of deflection it goes to LaFountain. LaFountain tries to go far side, and the call goes against Noelle Short, who I'm sure is very frustrated. She's played well, but against this Northeastern defense, not much she can do. Burtz into the center, intended for Sample, broken up by Cherko. Now here comes Clark. Clark to Sample. Sample has LaFountain. Sample just inside the 18, tries a pass for Walter. Now Clark fires a deflection. Fay miss kicks into the center. It's finally cleared out, but not deep enough. Walter able to control and fires wide. Goal kick for Tupper Lake. Northeastern substitutions: Anna Boardman, Megan Casey, Jess Poyer, and Brenda Bailey into the game for Northeastern. Boardman trying to get there, beaten to the ball by LaValle. LaValle looking for somebody to pass to. She has Bedore. Bedore on the near side with Short in the center, gets the cross off. It's behind Short and goes over on the far side for Cartier. Jack still trying to get a good shot off, can't, and it's deflected to the far side by Tremblay. Casey playing well, dumped in, and the call goes against Northeastern. It'll be a direct kick. I think the call's going to go against Northeastern. Players seem to be confused. There was some contact out in the center of the field between Megan Casey and Nicole Fletcher. Fletcher went down. The clock was stopped due to her injury. There was equal contact on both sides. Nothing called. I wasn't sure if there was going to be a call against either one of the players, but nothing was called. Now Poirier on the far side gets the ball up for Bailey. Bailey tries to turn it and does, but it's a weak shot and easily cleared by Bachant to the far side. Out of bounds, and it'll be Northeastern throw in. Desereau down the wing for Poirier. Poirier can't get the cross off before it's cleared out of bounds by Mercurio. Now Bailey down the wing, intended for Poirier. Broken up by Mercurio, and again she breaks it up. Deflects into the center for Short. Short has Bedore in the center, but Burt's marking her, staying right on her laces. Short finally centers it, stopped by Desereau, and Desereau clears back to midfield. Now Walter. Walter comes near side for Brassard, or rather Boardman, I'm sorry. Anna Boardman can't control it. Down the wing, out of bounds, and it's Tupper Lake ball. I think Burtz thought it was already out of bounds, and she ended up touching it. And it'll be Tupper Lake throw-in, 23-02.
Tupper bench have to move back. Thank you, guys.
Walter up for Boardman, but Churko gets there first and clears out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Burtz. Churko off deflection, dumps deep in Northeastern's territory, but Trombley gets there. Miss kicks. Tries to follow it up, and does. And a good ball up the wing. Button intercepts and clears to the 18. Here comes Short. Short can't get the shot off before Clark runs her off the ball, and it'll be a corner kick for Tupper Lake. But again, Amanda Clark not allowing Noelle Short to get that shot off. Down to 22 minutes remaining in this second half. It's 3-0 Northeastern, and Tupper fans would like to see one goal get in there. It runs right through the goal mouth, finally shot wide. It'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Dumped into the 6. Bedora's there, but Burtz takes it away from her and gives up another corner kick for Northeastern. But again, Cougar defense not allowing the shot to be taken. Bedora with the cross right into the center. It goes right through the goal mouth again. Kavanaugh's there on the far, or is that, yeah, it's Kavanaugh on the far side. Boardman continues it over to Poyer, and if Northeastern scores again, that'll be the third time on the counterattack. Now Sample crosses. Poyer gets there, but it's cleared out by Grahowski. Right back in again off Churko. Churko up into the center for Short. Trombley gets there first and dumps right back in again. That's been the way this game has gone. The Lumberjacks have a little pressure on Northeastern for a couple of minutes, and then the Lady Cougars come right back on the counterattack and either dominate field position or get the score. And as this game gets closer, I mean, we're down to about 20 minutes remaining. As it gets closer to the end of regulation, again, Bedore trying to get the cross off. Trombley right there will not allow the cross to go in front of her goal. Clark steps right in front of Short and heads it out to Walter. Walter keeps it going for Sample. Sample on the near side. Tries to go back to Walter. Walter over for Poyer. Just a little bit in front of her. She couldn't control it. Finally, Poyer will come right back again. Fires high and hits the back of the net. And again, the Tupper Lake Lumberjacks seem to be controlling the field, seem to be putting some pressure on, and then Northeastern breaks out. Cougar substitutions: Kavanaugh, Favreau, LaFountain, and Bowman into the game with 19:09 remaining in the second.
Tuesday, it's a 1 o'clock game.
Now this Tupper Lake crowd, I'm sure these are the Division II champs, a very proud organization, very proud players. And here comes Favreau with a left-footed cross. LaVenture is there to make the stop. And to, again, with a 15-4-1 record, they've had a great season winning Division II championship, CVAC championship. And to be totally frustrated against this Cougar Northeastern squad, that's going to throw people off sides. A back pass like that so deep, you're better off to get the cross off. Deflects near side for Favreau. Favreau down. Kavanaugh down. And it's out of bounds, and it should be a corner kick for Northeastern. Clark with a nice cross from the corner. On the far side, Crary. Crary still controlling. Desero runs her off the ball, but she gets back And now Trombley dumps up for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh keeps it going up for Sample in the center. If Sample can get by one, double teamed. LaFountain pushes near side for Favreau. Favreau with a left-footed shot that goes wide. Now, Tupper Lake substitutions. Nicole Fletcher back into the game. She was the player that left a few minutes ago injured. So we're glad to see that it was only it was not a serious injury. Also, number 2, Janelle Sabin into the game, and there was another one, but I don't remember which one she was. I think it was 25, Heather LaValle. And the call goes against Northeastern. It'll be a Lumberjack ball with 16:10 remaining in this second. It's 3-0 Northeastern on a game that the Lady Cougars have pretty much dominated, except for a few short spurts where the Jacks had some offensive power. Northeastern has dominated, and Clark with a shot that's high and wide. LaFountain deflects into the center. Clark picks it up over for Sample. Sample tries to turn it back, but Bachant is there to stop and clear. Burtz comes near side, keeps it going, and now Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh out on the wing for Favreau, out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Tupper Lake. 15-13 remaining in the second. Time running out. Time running out for the Lumberjacks. Kavanaugh into the center. LaFountain, now Poirier with the shot, and LaVenture with the stop. LaFountain and Poirier getting together for that shot after Andrew Mercurio failed to clear at the 18. Al Bowman on the far side to Desereau. Desereau down the wing for Poirier. Poirier tries to turn to the inside the 18. But Cherko is there to clear out. And here comes Lumberjack, stolen by Clark, but she can't control. She gets the clearing attempt. Off a deflection, it goes deeper. Weak shot taken by Sample, stopped by Bachant and Trombley. Right back in again. Trombley into the center, gives up for LaFountain. LaFountain broken up nicely by Cherko, but she gets it right back again. LaFountain just outside the 18, trying to set up for the shot. She does, but it deflects wide. Now Poirier wants to turn it. Gets a left-footed cross right through the goal mouth. Comes near side where it's picked up by Sabin. Sabin and Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, nice move to get by Sabin. Now a pass intended for Favreau. Goes through. And LaFountain gets the shot that hits the outside of the net. And it'll be a goal kick for the Lumberjacks with 13:26 remaining. Northeastern substitutions, Walter and Gooley back in.
Good hustle, Brandy. Way to go, Joe.
Goal kick out to midfield. Button, or rather Short, comes up with it. LaFountain and Short fighting for it. LaFountain goes down, but Bowman on the far side takes it off Short and pushes up for Walter. On the far side, Mercurio broken up by Gooley, but it's out of bounds off Gooley, and it'll be a throw for Tupper Lake. Valerie Pickering into the game for Tupper Lake. And Tupper Lake will throw it in again. And again, the Lady Jacks will throw it in. Desereau up for Walter. Broken up by Mercurio. Now Walter right back into the center for Clark. Clark partially broken up, gets it back again. Broken up again. And dumped out by LaValle. Into the center for Short. Short trying to find some running room. Stopped nicely by Burtz, who dumps right back in again. Now Cherko, right out, and Burtz is there. Taken by Saban, and Saban up for Bedore. Bedore, nice play by Ashley Burtz to break up Bedore. And right back in again on the near side. Shot taken. It would have been right on the corner. Hard to say from this angle if it would have been in, but Carnan not taking any chances and makes the stop. Now Bowman. Can't control, but it's punched out of bounds. And it'll be a Northeastern throw-in. 11 minutes remaining in the second half. 3-0 Northeastern. And Gooley with some speed, but can't beat Bachant, who stops and clears up the far side for Short. Short into the center. Bedore trying to get there, but Burtz gets there first and goes far side, headed back by Short into the center. Now Bedore. Ashley Burtz playing well. Takes the ball from Bedore and goes up the wing off a deflection to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh can't get by Button, who goes right back into the center just outside the 18. Short to Bedore. Out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Tremblay. Eventually to Favreau. Now Burtz down the wing. A nice ball. Kavanaugh able to control, but it gets too far in front of her. And Bachant comes right back for Tupper Lake. Off a deflection to Clark into the center, now picked up by Walter. Walter goes to LaFountain, but she can't control, and it's dumped right back to Northeastern's territory. Now Tremblay. Walter coming back, able to control. Has some room on the near side. Tries to go into the center. Bachant's there to clear right out again. Northeastern needs to use the wings more. Short with a nice step up to get the ball past Burtz. And finally fires wide. And it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. Under 10 minutes. We're down to 9:14 remaining in the second, and it's 3-0 Northeastern.
Come on, Cougars, let's get another one.
Headed right back in by Fletcher. Fletcher again gets ahead on it. Now Clark. Cherko. And out of the pack comes Walter. Walter with a pass up for LaFountain. Favreau also gets there. Button tips it to the outside. LaFountain off Button, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Deflects into the center, picked up by Fletcher. Fletcher, long pass up for Bedore. Tremblay comes near side, saved by Burtz. Burtz, again, successful in going down the wing. And I don't think that ball actually went out. I think that he anticipated, thought it was going to go out, but I don't think it actually did, but not my call. And it's a very easy game to either play or ref from up here. We can do both up here. And very well, I might add. Now Walter. Long ball down for Favreau. Favreau off the deflection, gets it back off Bachant, and I know, but I don't think Bachant wanted to do that on purpose, but I'll tell you that from behind, that could have been a yellow. Northeastern. Walter. And it deflects. And Bachant stuck her leg out. I think LaVenture would have had it easily, but Bachant stuck her leg out. Deflected. It just changed directions enough to put the ball off LaVenture's fingertips and gave Northeastern an opportunity, but LaVenture didn't lose control of the rebound. Now Kavanaugh tries to go up through the center for Walter, but Bachant is there to clear out. Short tried to get by Tremblay, but she took it off the face. Still holding her forehead. She took the ball directly off her face. Northeastern, all of a sudden, for a second there, are starting to back up on the ball instead of attacking it, which they've been doing all night, and they're giving the Lumberjacks an opportunity here to get a shot on net. And Carnett would have been wide, but part of not taking any chances with 6:35 remaining in the second. A fine punt out, stopped by Churko. Now Pickering, but she can't control, and Desiro goes far side for Gooley. Gooley back to Desiro for control, and she goes right back down the wing again for Walter. Walter trips, and it rolls out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Tupper. And they're going to stop the clock. Walter went down, and she still hasn't gotten up again. Northeastern is going to hold their breath for Ashley Walter, who is the high scorer for this team and a real spark plug. And with this game, 3-0 lead with 5:49 remaining, this game pretty much over. You'd really hate to see an Ashley Walter out of the game. Was in a few days it's Potsdam for the Section 7, Section 10 championship. Ashley Walter being helped from the field, favoring her right, it maybe ankle. And the Tupper Lake coach assists in taking her off. I think Walter had a sprained ankle a week or so ago. It has since healed, and maybe it's been re-injured. They have 3 days to try and get that ankle healed up before Northeastern is going to need the services of Ashley Walter in the next game. We can only hope at this point that they're able to do that. The game is back underway. Crossed into the center and stopped by LaVenture. Kavanaugh in the center. This would be a time that Northeastern, you could possibly see a breakdown, because the Cougars worried about their teammate, maybe not fully concentrating on the game. We'll see if Tupper can take advantage of the situation. Burtz to Poyer. Poyer on the outside for Brassard. Brassard lets it roll out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. 4:51 remaining in the second. 3-0 Northeastern. And that could be, it's going to be a goal kick for the Tupper Lake. Up for short. Gets by her, and Trombley right back in again. Out of bounds. It should be Northeastern throw-in. Coming down to 4 minutes remaining. Throw-in gets by everybody, and Bashant is there to clear out of bounds, and it'll give Northeastern another throw-in deep in the lumberjack zone. Kavanaugh to Poyer. Poyer tries to turn it but can't. Burtz is there. Burtz switches places with Kavanaugh to Poyer. Crossed over for Casey, but cleared out by Fletcher. Poyer can't turn it, and it'll be another goal kick for Tupper Lake. Stolen by the Lady Cougars deep in lumberjack zone, finally cleared out for short midfield. Trombley gets there and clears it right back again. Fletcher off a deflection to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh back to the 18 where Bashant takes over, and Bashant comes near side Pass intended for Grahowski. Beaten to it by Burtz. Burtz up to Brassard. And now Poyer. Poyer has Brassard if she can cut it back. She gets the shot off, but it's right at Bashant. Deflects far side. Trish Supernant into the game. Tisha, that's what I said. Hey, listen, with all these names, if I only screw up 100 times a game, I'm okay. Tisha Supernant wearing number 11. She's the backup goalie for Northeastern, and I think you'll see her the goalie of the future. Vidor tries to go back to short, but there's Burtz, and she's able to control near side. That could be and is going to be a handball. And Burtz is now down with 1:31 remaining. And Ashley Burtz is going to leave the game, limping a little bit. I think it's a cramp. And Margie Fay is into the game for Northeastern. She's getting advice from the peanut gallery, vitamins and such. And with 1:31, it looks as though the Lumberjacks are making mass substitutions also. Bashant has had an excellent game. Short is out. I believe Bedore is still in on the far side. But it took this Northeastern defense to shut down a very powerful Lumberjack offense. As I said earlier, Noelle Short with 29 goals and 9 assists, and Faith Bedore with 13 goals and 12 assists. And both were shut down. Kavanaugh.
1 minute.
Brassard up into the center, stopped by Cherko, and she dumps in. And Tremblay is there to calmly clear out. 54 seconds remaining in this Section 7 Class C final. Northeastern with a 3-0 lead. Fay. Fay again passes up for Poyer, but is cleared by Cherko. Now Fletcher comes near side. Pass intended for Chartier. Stopped by Casey. Casey taken out by Chartier, and it'll be Northeastern ball. And with 17 seconds left, looks like the Lady Cougars have another shutout. This should make it 15 shutouts on the year. 3, 2, 1. And that's it. The game is over. Northeastern Clinton is the Section 7 Class C champions for 1999. The scoring, Gooley, early in the game, it took just 1 minute and 27 seconds for Trish Gooley from Brandy Sample to make it 1-0 Northeastern, and the Cougars continue to dominate. And what they were doing is they dominate in field position, and as soon as the Tupper Lake Lumberjacks would get a hold of the ball and try and make a run on Northeastern's net, the Lumberjacks would put on some pressure for a minute or so, and then Northeastern on the counterattack would run right down, and the second goal scored by Ashley Walter from Elise LaFountain at 14-11, and that's the way the first half came to an end. Northeastern 2, Tupper Lake nothing. And in the second half, it only took 1 minute and 2 seconds. Walter again from LaFountain, and exactly the same. the Lumberjacks took the ball, the opening tip-off in the second half, and moved down the field and put some pressure on Northeastern's goal, and bang, bang on the counterattack. Walter, from a long pass from LaFountain at 1:02 of the second half, made it 3-0 Northeastern, and that's the way it ended. A great effort for Northeastern. Some of the standouts that I have to again mention the Northeastern defense: Amanda Clark, Ashley Burtz having a great game, Debbie Trombley and Haley Desero finishing off that defense, that great defense that has, I think it is 14 or 15, I'm not sure, shutouts on the year, shuts out a big Tupper Lake squad. So for 2 games against Tupper Lake this year, Northeastern has scored 5 goals and has given up none. So a great effort offensively. Ashley Walter, Elise LaFountain, Brandy Sample, Trish Gooley with the first goal of the game. Just a great effort, team effort for the Lady Cougars. They are awarded the Section 7 Class C championship for 1999. Congratulations to Josie Gilroy and the Lady Cougars for a fine season, and we'll hope that we can keep it going. We hope that Ashley Waller will be back in 3 days when we have to go to Potsdam to play for the North Country Regional Championship against the Section 10 winner Potsdam. Well, that's the way it was the 6th day of November, 1999 at Seton Catholic Central Field in beautiful downtown Plattsburgh. Northeastern 3, Tupper Lake nothing. And again, Northeastern, congratulations. They are the 1999 Section 7 Class C champions. Thanks for watching Hometown Cable.
There's enough captains there to outfit an army. Referees Steve Chris and Poppy Rock visiting with the 17 captains, 3 from Plattsburgh, 4 from the Cougars. As we get set for the lid lifter, the opening game of the 19